Hey everyone, SW Nation here, and welcome back to a brand new tier list ranking here on the channel. So I kind of previously had this idea that when What If Season 2 ended, I was going to do this big tier list for What If Season 2 because I did the MCU ranked and then I did the DCEU ranked with Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, but I didn't do What If Season 2 because Season 2 didn't finish yet. So I had this idea, well, I'm going to do a big video ranking the MCU and the DCEU one last time, but I want to incorporate What If Season 2. But there's too many MCU projects for me to do a big MCU and DCEU ranking, and then Echo was coming out around the corner. So I had this idea that I was going to do the tier list video with Echo included, and that is that video. So the funny thing about this is that I'm actually recording all of the MCU and DCEU projects before Echo. I'm recording all of them before I've even seen a single episode of Echo. And then once Echo premieres, I'm going to go back and add in my thoughts about it, and I'm going to rank it on the tier list scale. With all of that being said, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Please know that everything that I will say in this video is just my very own opinion. With that being said, let's get right into our tier list. Kicking things off with Iron Man. So, case in point, these are all in chronological order. So I did all the research. I did all of the MCU and DCEU movies mixed in together, when they premiered first, when they didn't. So let's start off with Iron Man. And I would say Iron Man as the first MCU film, and as the one that just doesn't have the weight of the MCU on his shoulders. Robert Downey Jr. is great. I'm giving it the best of the best. I've talked ad nauseum about the MCU and the DCEU before, so I really don't want to talk that much about the Phase 1, the Phase 2, Phase 3, Phase 4 films, as much as I'm going to talk about the Phase 5 films leading up into Echo. Even the last year of DC movies, I'm going to be talking ad nauseum about those. But for Phase 1, the early days of the DCEU, I've already talked so much about those movies. You guys can go check them out on the channel. They're in the links in the description. Let's get right back into it with The Incredible Hulk. I don't think The Incredible Hulk is a bad movie. I think that it's very flawed, but I think that it works. It does a lot of things great. You know, the villain, Edward Norton as Bruce Banner, the Hulk action itself, I think all of it works, man. So is it fun for me? No, it's not a fun movie for me to just pop in anytime I want to, but I would say it's okay. It's an okay movie. Iron Man 2. You know, I like Incredible Hulk more than Iron Man 2. I'm going to have to go Iron Man 2 is okay. If I'm going Iron Man 2 is fun, then I'm going to have to put Incredible Hulk fun. So let's just put both of them in there. Incredible Hulk is fun, and Iron Man 2 is fun as well. Thor. I think that first Thor movie is great. The Shakespearean grandeur, Kenneth Branagh did a great job with it. I think the first Thor movie is just great, man. That score, bro. Oh my God, I love that score. Captain America, the First Avenger. This is another great film for the Phase 1 films of the MCU. I mean, Captain America, the First Avenger, great origin story. The first two acts are pretty good. It's just that third act, man. And we're going to talk about another film that has a weird third act as well. The Avengers. Dude, I'm going to have to go in The Avengers, the best of the best. I know a lot of people, like, think that it's overrated. I don't know, man. It looks like a TV show and sometimes, but at the same time, I really love the first Avengers, man. They did a phenomenal job with that film. Iron Man 3. I think it's great. It's better than The Incredible Hulk, and it's better than Iron Man 2. You know what? Look, I think Iron Man 2 is fun, very fun, but it's in the okay category with The Incredible Hulk. And Iron Man 3, it's great. Iron Man 3 is fun, great. I'll put it in great. I'll keep it in great. Man of Steel. I think Man of Steel is great. It's up there with Thor, First Avenger. Iron Man 3 is a little bit lower than the Man of Steel, but I think Man of Steel is great. Zack Snyder comes out swinging in the DCEU, giving us a more grounded take of Superman, which I think works on so many levels. Just a man trying to find his place in the world. Perfect story. Thor: The Dark World. I think it's okay. It's not terrible. It's very okay. Bland story, bland plot, bland villains, but I mean, at least it has that MCU gloss to it. Winter Soldier. my second favorite MCU film. I love Winter Soldier. It's the movie that made Captain America cool to me. This and Man of Steel. Winter Soldier and Man of Steel made Captain America cool to me. Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm gonna have to go best of the best, man. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy. That first film it's really funny to this day. It's kind of, it takes a while for me to laugh at jokes in movies, and Guardians of the Galaxy, it gets some laughs out of me. I think Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is funnier, but the first Guardians of the Galaxy still has that heartfeltness to it. It still has that heart to it, so that's what I love about it. Age of Ultron, I think this one is gonna be our first fun. Well, no, I think Age of Ultron is better than Iron Man 3. I'm going to reshuffle these anyway. It's okay. It's a tier list. So I think Age of Ultron is very fun. Matter of fact, it's great to me. I think Age of Ultron is great. We have yet to get a fun movie yet. Age of Ultron is great. Matter of fact, I know I keep changing these two. Incredible Hulk and Iron Man 2. You guys can stay in fun. We're going to keep Thor the Dark World in okay. Moving on into Ant-Man. We're putting that movie into fun. Yeah, I think Ant-Man is pretty great. No, I have no problems with Ant-Man at all. I think it's my favorite of the Ant-Man films. It works as a heist movie. And I think that, when it had the DNA of Edgar Wright a little bit in there, I think that's what helped this film out a lot. To me, the comedy is great. Paul Rudd is great in the movie as well, playing an everyday man. I think all of this whole movie just works for me. It's so clever what they do with the shrinking tech, with the ants and everything, but the plot is very generic, feels very much like the first Iron Man. Batman vs. Superman. Ooh, I think it's fun or great. I would say fun. Is it better than Age of Ultron? No, it's not better than Age of Ultron. I would rather watch Age of Ultron than Batman vs. Superman. But it's very ambitious. It's very ambitious, but it's up there. Like, it's in top of fun. And I think most of my fun comes from this movie is Ben Affleck's performance as Batman. That's why I call this movie kind of fun for me, because I just like watching his performance. Civil War, best of the best, man. The dramatic moments hit. The Avengers are split up. It all works for me. And it works as being a true Avengers 2, like a true Avengers sequel, but also a nice Captain America trilogy capper. Like, it's still a Captain America story at the end of the day. Just has Iron Man and the rest of the Avengers in it, but the Russo brothers were able to craft this. I loved what they did with Civil War. Not better than Winter Soldier for me. Comment down below, which one do you guys think is better, Winter Soldier or Civil War? Because I love both, man. Suicide Squad is not terrible, but for the sake of this video, I might have... I'll put it in okay, because I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's a terrible movie. There's going to be a movie that's going to be terrible. There's going to be a movie that's going to be put in the terrible list, I think. You know what? Because I don't think Suicide Squad is terrible, but it's on the bottom half of it. You know what? Matter of fact, it's okay. Suicide Squad is okay. It's okay. It's okay. Doctor Strange, I think, is great. That first Doctor Strange movie is so great to me. Yeah, Scott Derrickson did his thing. The illusions, the trippy illusions and stuff is great. Very bland when it comes to the origin story. It just seems like they pushed Doctor Strange through the MCU template. Generic with the Iron Man origin story, but at the end of the day, it offers something new in the MCU and introduces magic. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I think it's fun. It's very fun, man. It's very funny as well. Very colorful, and I think the Yondu death works for me, but overall, it's just fun. Wonder Woman, great. It's just great. Wonder Woman is really great for me. I mean, Wonder Woman is my favorite comic book heroine. She's my favorite female character in superheroes of all time, and Gal Gadot is my celebrity crush. So Wonder Woman worked as a film. The first two acts, though, just like Captain America First Avenger, the first two acts work, the third act doesn't. Homecoming, Spider-Man Homecoming. Ooh, is it great or is it fun? It's great. I have so much fun with Homecoming. I think is so great. Yeah, I really love Homecoming. I think it's great, man. Ragnarok, it's great as well. A lot of these movies are going to be into great. I think I should have expanded my categories a little bit. Maybe I should have added in an ambitious but flawed, or not just an okay. I should have added in a mid, and I should have added in a terrible. And you know what? I'm going to do that right this second. I'm going to add in a fun, a good. Yeah, I'm going to keep the fun. I'm going to add in a good category, and then I'm going to also add in a mid category. So we're going to do that right now. All right, we have spaced them out. So we have a good category, which has Batman vs. Superman, Ant-Man, and Incredible Hulk. And then we have the fun category that has Iron Man 2, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And then we have the okay category. That's just okay. It's good enough. Thor: The Dark World. And then painfully mid is the Suicide Squad. But we still have a lot of greats in here. So let's keep the train rolling with Justice League, and that's going to be our first terrible. There's some things that I like about this movie. All terrible movies, you have some positives. But Justice League, everything that Zack Snyder was trying to do becomes painfully obvious when you watch the Snyder Cut. But at the time, it just felt like WB was just trying so hard to get rid of Zack Snyder because it seemed like his universe wasn't working. And then when you watch the Snyder Cut, it just comes more blatantly obvious that they hated what Zack Snyder was doing, and they just used his tragedy to make this film. Gross project, but there are some things inside of this movie that I do like. Black Panther, not the best of the best, but definitely a really great movie. Wonder Woman, Homecoming, Ragnarok, and Black Panther, they're all in the great category. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm going to put Thor inside of good. I'm going to put Iron Man 3 inside of good as well, but they're high good, touching great. And then we have Age of Ultron, high good as well. Doctor Strange in the high good. And then we're going to keep the great tier to, the ones that you see up on your screen there. Avengers Infinity War, my favorite of all of these. Let's just get that out of the way. Avengers Infinity War is my favorite MCU film, my favorite MCU and DCEU film, probably my favorite comic book film. I love Avengers Infinity War. Let's see. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, I think it's mid. Matter of fact, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I think Ant-Man and the Wasp is okay. It's just okay. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just okay. Aquaman, I think it's good. I would say fun. I think Aquaman is good. Maybe even great. Captain Marvel, I think it's okay. Captain Marvel's not bad. Yeah, the first Captain Marvel's not bad. Yeah, no, it's not bad. It's just that you feel distant from her because she doesn't remember her memories. So it's like, you kind of really don't care. Shazam, so heartfelt, such a pleasant surprise, but I knew it was going to be fire. Shazam is great. I love it. I love the Shazam movie, man. I love the Shazam movie. And plus, it was my favorite DCEU film before, I got cultured and rewatched Man of Steel a bunch of times, and Zack Snyder's Justice League came out, and James Gunn Unleashed came out with this Suicide Squad movie. But Shazam was my favorite DCEU film of all time for years. Avengers Endgame, I would have put this in great about 3 years ago. Man, I gotta say it's still best of the best. Avengers Endgame till this day, man, it's such a great achievement. You look back on it and you're just like, nah, that was a good achievement. I'm not going so far as to say it's in my top 2 ranking, though. I still think Winter Soldier's better. And any day, Iron Man could probably take over number 3 for Avengers Endgame. Endgame could still go back down to number 5 for me. But as of right now, it stands at number 3 in my MCU ranking. And I think that Winter Soldier is a lot better than that one. Far From Home. The worst Spider-Man movie. The worst MCU Spider-Man movie. Is in the lower end of the MCU. Oh, mid. I gotta go mid, bro. Oh my god, I gotta go mid. I'm so sorry, man. I gotta go mid. dude, it's just, I don't know, man. What else can I say? It's far from home. It's just Peter Parker and his friends on a road trip. You don't get anything from it. Birds of Prey, mid. Dude, again, I like watching Birds of Prey. It's just so forgettable in the end, man. Like, there are so many great things about it. It's a grounded girl gang story, a grounded crime thriller. I love that. Roman Sionis, Ewan McGregor is Roman Sionis? He's great. But man, is this movie painfully mid, bro. Is it mid or okay? Because Dark World is mid. I'll go okay. I'll be sympathetic. I'll go okay. Wonder Woman 84, fun, not good, not great, not okay, not mid, not terrible. It's right there in the category of fun. Look, for people who didn't get any enjoyment out of this movie, I don't know what to tell you. I really did enjoy it. Patty Jenkins just had a bad day at the office, okay? But Gal Gadot just has enough charm, even though she can't act, obviously. But I love her as Wonder Woman. She's my celebrity crush. I love that woman. Now we're moving into the pandemic era. Actually, we were already in the pandemic era with Wonder Woman 84, but let's move into the true pandemic era of these comic book films and shows. WandaVision, best of the best, my favorite MCU Disney Plus TV show. Great exploration of grief in Wanda. And Disney Plus Marvel has never come close to topping WandaVision as their show. Zack Snyder's Justice League, another best of the best. My favorite DCEU film. It is great. It's probably better than Avengers Endgame for me as a sweeping superhero epic. What Zack Snyder was able to do with this film worked for me on so many levels. And it kind of confuses me because why didn't he market Man of Steel, BVS, and Justice League as a 3-parter? He marketed Justice League as 1-parter to 2-parter of a story. But dude, I think it would have been even better if you just would have said, yeah, BVS is just part 1 to Justice League. And then we're also going to have Justice League 2, which is going to be part 3. But the true part 1 to this story, this sweeping superhero story, is Batman vs. Superman. Or if you want to go even farther, Man of Steel. Zack Snyder should have just told everybody what he was planning on doing. I understand he wanted to be secretive. You don't want to spill all your beans yet. I think this would have helped the perception of Batman vs. Superman and the perception of Warner Brothers, to be fair. And what was the problem with Warner Brothers? What was the problem with this movie? I don't get it. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think the show is good. Yeah, the show is good. I don't think it's great. It's good. Yeah, it's good. Loki, mid. This is season 1. Season 1 is mid. Because I have no itch to rewatch that season. It does nothing for me. Loki season 1 does nothing for me anymore, except for He Who Remains. We all see how that went. Black Widow. Oh, are you guys excited to watch the? Why am I saying you? Like you guys are gonna be watching this, like after, like before, the trial. Like you guys are gonna be watching this before the interview comes out. Like, come on now. Black Widow. Let me just stop talking. Black Widow. If I'm gonna put Falcon and Winter Soldier good, Black Widow is right next to him. It's good as well. I love Black Widow as a film. It works for me. Suicide Squad. James Gunn Unleashed. I'm going S tier. Best of the best, man. The violence, the abstract way of storytelling, but also taking these unlikable characters and making them likable. We got a Peacemaker show out of this. Peacemaker sucked in this movie, and I love the show. I'm not going to fast forward to what my ranking of the show is going to be. What If? I think it's fun. It was a good concept. We got some good stuff out of the first season. I think it's fun. I think probably the first season is better than season 2. Shang-Chi, great. Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten Rings. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, is great. I love the dragon stuff. I love the mixed martial arts stuff. It just felt like every time they were doing something different, the MCU template just had to come back into fold. Eternals. Again, another one of those movies where I think it's good. It's fun. I'll put it in fun. I had fun with it. I think it's good. I love the movie, actually. Just, it looks so gorgeous. Chloe Zhao made this film look so gorgeous. and it tries to go for a sweeping superhero epic. Sometimes it fails at it. Sometimes it does some great things with that concept. And I think Eternals introduced some good characters that I can't wait to see again. I just wish that it did a better job. But I'm not gonna turn on this movie. I love Eternals. I love this movie. I'm not gonna turn on this movie like a lot of people did. Hawkeye. This is one that I actually enjoyed. I thought this was pretty fun. I'm gonna put it high. Or maybe it's lower than Iron Man 2. I think it's lower than Iron Man 2, but higher than Guardians for me in my MCU ranking. I don't know. These fluctuate, man. These fluctuate right at this point. But Hawkeye is a really great series. Not great, but it's a fun series for me. I thought it was going to be in the mid category. You know, if it was 2 years ago, it would have been in the mid category. Right now, it's in the fun category. I really enjoy it. Spider-Man No Way Home. The best of the best. Love this movie. Celebration of Spider-Man. All that. Peacemaker. Not best of the best, but a great TV show. Very great TV show. John Cena's acting in this show. Chef's kiss, man. Loved it. And I hated the trailers. I hated the marketing of all of it. Dude, chef's kiss on all of that. Not Peacemaker, Moon Knight. So we went from Peacemaker. No, we went from No Way Home to Peacemaker to freaking Moon Knight. Man, who's really watching Moon Knight, bro? Who's out here watching Moon Knight? Moon Knight? Nobody's watching Moon Knight. Lock in, please. No, Moon Knight was mid, bro. Oscar Isaac's acting aside, Moon Knight is painfully mid, bro. I should make another category for that one. Painfully mid. Put Far From Home, Loki Season 1, and Moon Knight Season 1. All of that painfully mid. One that's not painfully mid, I love this movie, Multiverse of Madness. The carnage of Wanda, the goofy Sam Raimi-isms. Dude, it's up there. It's top of the good, man. It's very well at the top of the good. Mainly because I think the two Doctor Strange movies belong hand in hand. They're just that good to each other. They just come in a pack together, along with Infinity War and Endgame. But I think Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, they come in a pack together. Like, I can't see putting the first Doctor Strange at the bottom of the list and putting Multiverse of Madness at top. Like, they both have their strengths, both have their weaknesses. Ms. Marvel. Man, it was a great series at first, and then it just became good. It just became good, man. That's all I have to say. It was a great series at first, came at the perfect time of my life, and then it just became good. Love and Thunder. It's mid. I was going to put it okay, but it's mid. Yeah, it's mid. I think Dark World's better. Yeah, Dark World is better. It's mid. It's just mid. Dude, it plays like a Saturday morning cartoon, man. That's all I have to say. I made that comparison so many times on this channel. Saturday morning cartoon. I Am Groot. It's hard to compare these. It's hard to compare the I Am Groot series. You could just go okay. Like, it's just a short. Like, it's shorts. We know what they are. She-Hulk. There's some things great about She-Hulk, but overall, it's our first MCU terrible. No. It's our first MCU terrible, man. Like, bro, I was so disappointed by this because I was one of the main people when the She-Hulk trailer first released, saying that the show was going to be fire. And I was proven right for 4 episodes straight, for a whole month straight. I was enjoying She-Hulk, and then they introduced the blood arc, and then it just fell off the rails, and they just never was able to recover from it. Werewolf by Night. I thought that was a fun little adventure that they did there. I thought that was a fun little thing. I think it's good. It's good. It's good. Yeah. The fact that we were able to have something like that, pretty good. Black Adam. You already know this is going in fun. It's just fun, man. Very fun movie for me. I love the fact that we get to see Black Adam Carnage. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is Black Adam finally. It's a shame that we don't get to see him more after this, but we did get to see him inside of this movie, and he was able to bring back Henry Cavill's Superman just for one little short scene. I mean, hey, we gotta appreciate that. Wakanda Forever, great. Up there with the first Black Panther movie. Yeah, Wakanda Forever. It's great. It's just a funeral of it's a funeral of a film. I wouldn't want to sit down and watch Wakanda Forever like every weekend or something like that. It's such a funeral. It's such a devastating movie about grief, but serves as a nice follow-up to the first film. Holiday special. Great. Works. The holiday special works as a true holiday special featuring the Guardians of the Galaxy. And they also bridged the gap between Volume 2 and Volume 3, which I really did like. They made Mantis a lot likable. They made Drax likable again. It's very funny. I think all of it works. Quantumania, terrible. Not terrible. You know what? I'll give it the benefit of the doubt because I did rewatch it recently. I like the atmosphere and the background of it. Even though it's painfully obvious that it's the soundstage, I like the background of it. So I'm going to have to go just mid. It's at the bottom of the mid tier, though. Literally at the bottom of the mid tier. Shazam! Fury of the Gods. I think this movie is good. You know what? I don't think it's good, and I don't think that it's fun. I think it's just okay. I'm not going to go good. Shazam is up there in the great category. Fury of the Gods is just okay. It's good enough. That's where okay is at right now. It's good enough. Volume 3. I'm not one of those that puts it in best of the best, but I will say Guardians 3 is a great film. I just wouldn't rewatch it because, like Wakanda Forever, it's a funeral film. James Gunn was able to make the end of the trilogy emotional without anybody having to die, but also just Rocket's tragic backstory, man. I hate animal cruelty, so it kind of makes me hard to kind of rewatch this movie. But overall, I think Guardians 3 is a great film. I mean, that doesn't stop me from loving Guardians 3, the animal cruelty. It's not something that I would want to rewatch every weekend. Like Wakanda Forever, it's a funeral film. This is a tragedy. Flash, I think it's good. Yeah, I think it's okay. Flash is okay. Flash is at the top of okay. Like, it's good enough. Because the CGI falters. And also, you got to understand, like, the story really works for, people that can kind of relate to that loss of a parent trope. And God forbid I ever lose a parent, but I'm sorry, like, with the Flash, it's just, if this is the story that it's the same with Black Adam. It took them 15 years to make Black Adam, and that story was generic. It was bland. The plot sucked. But with the Flash, it's like you guys went through so many directors, so many screenwriters that come up with the main de facto Flash story that everybody goes to. Literally every Flash movie, even the Lego ones, the animated ones. We've done it twice in the animated movies, man, where Barry has to go back in time to save his parent, and then he messes with the timeline, so then he creates a flashpoint. Dude, that is literally the marquee Flash story. They never change the Flash stories, and that's why it's in okay, because it's good enough. It's funny. It worked for me. The CGI falters a bit, but man, if this was the story that you guys were fighting over, what was the point of even releasing the movie then? Because it's literally the story that everybody goes to when creating a Flash anything. Secret Invasion, terrible. I have no memory of Secret Invasion. I don't want to rewatch it because I'm just going to get disappointed again. I was so excited for this show, man. So excited. And I got disappointed. Damn. And it sucks too, because the trailers promised this show to be a spy thriller, and it turned out to be lame. Just turned out to be so lame. Blue Beetle. I think Blue Beetle, not as heartfelt as Shazam, but I'm gonna have to go good. Yep, I'm gonna have to go good on that one. Yep, I'm gonna have to go good. It's right there. Good on Blue Beetle. I Am Groot Season 2, again, it's just okay. I mean, nah, they're mid. Both of these things are mid, bro. Because it's like, what's the point? Matter of fact, terrible. Like, dude, what was the point? Like, I get it to fill out a Disney Plus quota for the investors. I get that, Kevin Feige. But it's like, I mean, You didn't have to release a season 2. I don't care. I don't think anybody's watching these. I didn't even finish season 2. I don't believe. I think I was 1 episode short or something like that. Loki season 2, one season that I did finish and I loved. I love this season, man. It is great. If I have an MCU show right here, yeah, I have Ms. Marvel here. I'm gonna put Loki season 2 in good, but it's a very great season though. But I'm gonna have to put it in good because it doesn't top. Like, it's not on the same level as the great tier. But I'm gonna have to put it high good because Loki season 2, man, that season worked for me, and it plays like a DC Legends of Tomorrow season. So I really thought that Loki season 2, it was a great season of television, and also as a worthy follow-up to the first season. And it establishes on so many things. We already laid the groundwork in the first season, so we can just have fun in the second season. And all of it works, man. And the way that the second season ends, they can either move away from the Kang storyline or move forward with it. They played their cards right with this season, not gonna lie to you. And they gave us a fitting conclusion to Jonathan Majors as Kang in this season. The Marvels, it's just fun. It's fun, but at what cost? It comes a time where it's just like, I get it, Marvel, I get it, man. $200 million, the strikes, all that, this, that, and the third, COVID pandemic, I get it, man. But there's really no excuse why this movie shouldn't have been, in the great category or the good category. I don't see why this movie wasn't in those categories. It's fun, and it's better than the first film for me. I think the first film is worse than this, and I love Kamala Khan in it, but it's like, man, come on, lock in, Marvel. What are you doing? You're fluctuating. Like, we fluctuated all year. We went down from the holiday special to Quantumania, then we went up to Guardians 3, down with Secret Invasion, up to Loki season 2, and then down with the Marvels. And then we just kind of stayed in a steady pace when What If season 2 came out, and that'll lead us to our last 3, What If season 2. I think this one is fun. It's fun along with the first What If because it's just a fun concept. But they gave us worse concepts than we got in the first season. And, there's some episodes in here that I love more than the first season episodes. But I think season 1 was just a better version of what they promised. This season is just weird. It was just weird concepts. Like, what if Happy Hogan saved Christmas? Nah, I don't want to see that. I love the idea of Wenwu and Hela facing off against Odin. Wenwu with the 10 rings facing off against Odin. Like, I love that. That seems cool. Then we have the Knights episode, but then we introduce a new character like Kahori. Who is this character? Like, we don't care. So it's like, it's so weird. What If season 2 is so weird, but at the same time, though, it continues the trend of what we come to know and love about the What If series, and that is, what if this happened in an alternate universe of the MCU? And our last 2, we have Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. This is the last DCEU film, and I'm going to have to put it in the fun category. If Aquaman is in good, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is in fun. Yeah, it's definitely in fun. So yeah, I think this is where I would put Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Worthy follow-up to the first film, and I think it works on so many levels for me. But at the same time, though, as a ending to the DCEU, kind of disappointing. And now we have Echo, but at the time of me recording this, it is the 6th of January. Echo doesn't come out for another 3 days. So I'm going to stop the recording here, and then I'm going to pick up recording after I finish watching the entirety of Echo, so then I can put this inside of the tier list, and we will be able to rock and roll. Alright, so it's been a week, and finally Echo has been released. I've had some time to think about it. Echo came out last Tuesday, so yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and rank this thing on the tier list, and it's good. It's good. If you guys watched the review, if you guys watched the short, I did have a fun time with Echo for the first 4 episodes. That finale truly dropped the ball on the type of show that this is. But I think as a fan of the Netflix Defenders verse, I mean, it's really lines up along with those shows. On the lower half, Daredevil seasons 1 through 3 being up there, Jessica Jones season 1, Luke Cage the first half of season 1. Those are like top Netflix Marvel for me. But Echo, man, Echo was really great. Vincent D'Onofrio was great in it. I think it's a really great show. It's just when they dropped the ball on that finale, I felt very disappointed, mainly because the show was so grounded up to the part of the finale, and then once they introduced her new ancestral powers, then it just got to be the next new Marvel thing. Every time that they have something new that's different from everything else, they have to go right back to that MCU formula, and that's something that the MCU Parliament just keeps doing to these filmmakers and creators. But with that being said, that is it for our tier list ranking of the MCU and the DCEU. I'm going to rearrange these by which one I think is better, and then we're gonna conclude our tier list video. Alright, so I kind of rearranged them in a way that is kind of like a ranking, but not really. So we're going to start off with the terrible tier list. Here we have Justice League, I Am Groot, both of these seasons of these shorts, She-Hulk Attorney at Law, and Secret Invasion. In the mid tier, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Thor Love and Thunder, Loki Season 1, Moon Knight, Suicide Squad, the David Ayers version from 2016, and Spider-Man Far From Home. In the OK tier, we have Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. We have Captain Marvel, Thor The Dark World, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Shazam Fury of the Gods, The Flash. Now we have Wonder Woman 1984, Black Adam, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, The Marvels, Eternals. What if season 1, and what I just did is what if season 2, we have Hawkeye, Aquaman, and the Lost Kingdom, and Iron Man 2. That occupies the fun category. In the good tier, which is where most of our movies are at, we have Black Widow, Werewolf by Night, Blue Beetle, Ms. Marvel, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, Loki Season 2, which is a big improvement from Season 1, the newest MCU TV show, Echo, The Incredible Hulk, Aquaman, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Ant-Man, Thor, Iron Man 3, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and the original Doctor Strange from 2016. And lastly, we have Avengers Age of Ultron, which occupies the good category. In our great tier, we have Guardians of the Galaxy, the Holiday Special, Peacemaker Season 1, Shang-Chi, and The Legend of the Ten Rings, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man Homecoming, Captain America the First Avenger, Shazam, Thor, Ragnarok, Man of Steel, Black Panther. That occupies the great category. And lastly, but certainly not least, we have the best of the best. These are the best of all of these, okay? So we have in number 1, Avengers Infinity War. Number 2, Captain America Winter Soldier. Number 3, Avengers Endgame. Number 4, Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League cut. Number 5, Iron Man. Number 6, The Avengers, the original. Number 7, Captain America Civil War. Number 8, Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 9, Spider-Man No Way Home. Number 10, WandaVision. And number 11, we have the Suicide Squad. So that is it for our tier list. We have the best of the best, the great, the good, the fun, okay, and mid. I'm going to put the link to this tier list in the description down below, so you guys can make your own tier list yourselves. And please don't forget to check out that Twitter. That link is in the description, as well as that Marvel and DC playlist. Those various video playlists, those links are in the description as well. You guys can go on the channel. I have done a multitude of mini Marvel and DC reviews and rankings. And with all that out of the way, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you all next time. Peace.